We're back, everybody, here on a Thursday night on Open Line, and we are talking about reducing youth crime. Our guests, Bishop Marcus Campbell, Jos'Ua Hawkins, and Rayvon Collins. Bishop, tell me about these two young men and how you met them.
I met them at the parent meeting for Maplewood, and these two young men spoke, and they just spoke so profoundly. And to see something different than what we see on the news, something that I get to see outside of the news coverage where we have kids that are getting in trouble. There are a lot of young men that are like this that are really doing good in school, and have some great path ahead of them, that they're on a great track now. So they my idols now. Yeah, I look up to them.
So yeah, I should point out they're students at Maplewood. They're not a specific part of the gang program, but tell me about meeting the bishop and hearing about what he's doing, Jos'Ua.
We were at the community meeting this past yesterday, and we were talking about what we do at our school and our academies and the models of it. And after the meeting, he came and talked to us about the program, which I'm in a similar program, only to build my leadership skills, called the Real Program. But we built a connection, and that's how we started.
You're both juniors?
Senior.
You're a senior.
Yes, and I'm a junior.
You're a junior.
Yes, sir.
You are president of the student government?
Class of 2020
Class
president.
of 20, okay. You are the class president, so
Yes,
leadership for sure. Tell me about some of the programs, what you're working on at Maplewood.
One of the programs that I'm in is called AVID. It's basically a college readiness class where we apply for colleges, write our senior capstones, we go on college tours and different things like that. Another program that I'm in besides student government is student council.
Okay. How about you, Rayvon?
Well, we have, in the MNPS district, we have academy ambassadors, and what those do, they represent their school, their academies, and their principal. So this is my 3rd year being an ambassador, and so they have elected me the lead ambassador for this year. And I am also the junior class vice president, and I enjoy what I do to the fullest.
As young African-American men in this community, how troubled are you when you hear the news all the time about young kids, not just African-American kids, but just young kids in lower income neighborhoods, economically disadvantaged areas who maybe have a single parent or no parent at home, and they're out in the middle of the night and they start to get into trouble?
Well, me personally, I live with a single parent myself.
Yep.
Dad wasn't always there, dealt drugs, all that good stuff. But being a young black male, I don't let that affect me or affect my lifestyle. I go on regardless of whether dad's there, whether mom's there, whatever. I keep pressing forward.
Where does that come from?
The motivation comes from my grandmother. My grandmother has been there with me since I was a baby. She was the first person I saw coming out the womb, and so it's just been my jump start. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't have faith in Christianity or anything like that if it wasn't for her.
Positive role model.
Yes, sir.
It just shows how huge that can be. Yes. And it can come from all sorts of places. It doesn't even have to be family, right? It can be a mentor or someone else. What about you, Jos'Ua?
Similar to his, I didn't come from a perfect household. I would say you can't let the past form your future. You can use it as motivation. I just kept thriving and pushing forward to make something out of myself, become a better person, and it led me to where I am today in different leadership positions. And
what do you both think when you hear about what Pastor Campbell is doing, Bishop Campbell is doing with this gang program?
I feel like it's a good program. I feel like there should be more programs like it. Similar to the program I'm in, it changes people's lives, and it makes a future for themselves, and it makes people think, this is what I used to do, and it changes their actions to make them a better person.
And in this program, there could be many other programs like it, but in order to make change, you have to take it one step at a time. And I feel like, get programs like the Real Program and the Gang Program is little baby steps, is what gets us to the change that we want, the change that we desire, or better yet, the change that we need.
Excellent. All right, 737 plus is the phone number. Let's go to the lines, and we will welcome Dylan first. Hey, Dylan, welcome.
Oh, hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Sure.
First, I just want to, before I ask my question, I just want to say to these kids, everyone watching right now are definitely very proud of y'all. Y'all come a long way, and we definitely all know that y'all are going to go on to be great leaders of the community. So thanks for doing what you're doing and coming on to this show. I'm sure that's hard to do, or maybe it's easy, I don't know. But my question is basically, when it comes to family and role models, would you say that's the biggest factor in y'all's success today, is now having this role model in y'all's life, and the biggest factor to, you know, youth crime was the lack of a good role model in the home?
Well, yes, it is one of our biggest factors, because if we didn't have family, I guarantee you we wouldn't be here today. And two, you know, the fact that I believe in the Christianity part of my religion, you know, if I didn't believe in God, I wouldn't be here either. And so family is just that lean on, that extra leg we need, because we can't do everything ourselves. And when we have family to lean on, it makes it easier, but it also makes our job harder, because leaning on them is meaning that we have less responsibility. But we have to remember that whether we lean on them or not, we still have responsibilities as individuals. So
I feel like having a role model, not even just a role model, a good support system or a support group is a key factor in a person's success. When you have someone you can look up to and you want to either be greater than or similar to them, it can motivate you to become and do better things in your life.
Being a teenager these days, no matter where you are, it's not easy. There's a lot to navigate, especially with social media and so on and so forth, technology. Do you feel like your peers, your friends, other students, that they respond when students like you step up and assume leadership roles? And do you feel that responsibility?
I definitely feel a responsibility. I would say they respond in a positive way. I've never seen any negative backlash on the leadership positions that I have. I feel like it also motivates them to become better people themselves. They see a person like me, an African-American male, doing great, having great success in different leadership positions, and it encourages them to do the same thing.
Well, me personally, I think our generation isn't much obligated to much, but when they have us in a leadership position as the positions we're in now, I think that that's a chance for them to have someone to reach out to, because, you know, the teacher's not always going to be there. Me, you got my Instagram, my phone number. You can just hit me up whenever you need something to happen. You know, they try to say, change the dress code. You know, I can't change the dress code. That's something we have to comply by. Right. But anything else that can benefit you in your education, I'll be happy to do.
So you have maybe a younger student, a freshman, looking for some help, a little bit lost, whether it's just academically or maybe a personal issue. It's easy for them to go to a fellow student and be able to have an honest conversation, right?
I'm glad you say that, because my younger brother, he's a freshman. He attends Maplewood as well. Yeah. So you see how I'm in these leadership positions, everything. My brother is the complete opposite. But at the same time, he has things he wants to change about the school as well. Yeah. And so I tell him, I'm willing to listen, but as much as I'm listening, that's how much you have to be complying to the rules that I have to follow just as much as you do, no matter what position I'm in, who I am, or who I'm with. I have to comply just as much as you do.
Pastor, these young men seem to be wise beyond their years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We need more of them, right?
Yes, we do.
So how will you engage and maybe work with these two young men and others in the future?
Excuse me.
Sure.
I got an opportunity to talk with the principal from Maplewood. We've been into some schools just a little bit, but I've been wanting to be a present face in the school every week, so they have given me the opportunity to take over their program called Ties for Gents, to have my guys to come in every Thursday, to have a block early in the morning to talk with students that need it, the conversation from us. So I'm very excited about being able to do that, to be a constant face, not only to help kids that are already got a record, but I want to be able to help those before they get there. So I'm looking forward to it, and while I see them there, anything they need from me, I'm here for them. Whatever I can do to push them further, I will. Like I said, I'm just amazed to see these young men and what they see and what they think and their mindset. You know, at their age, I was robbing and doing a whole lot, but they got it. You know, they got it now.
And to be at that age and to understand, it takes hard work.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's not, stuff doesn't just come easy.
Yes, sir.
It takes a vision, setting up your goals, and executing those one by one. And sometimes you fall down on your face, and you have to learn how to get yourself back up.
Yes, sir.
And keep moving forward. Right?
Most definitely.
Yes, sir. And they the start of change. Like he said, their peers see them changing and doing. That's a start, you know, because they feel like if they can do it, then we can too.
You talked about going into Maplewood and talking with these kids. I'm going to ask you a little more after this break about the specific message and how you go about bringing that message and your life experiences and others in your group. When we come back, we're going to take another break. We've got some callers on hold. Hang in there or call back if we didn't get to you. We will definitely get to your phone call. 737 plus, everybody. Open line comes back right after this.